From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
I think books have the ability to take our limited perception and blow it open. Books allow individuals to experience someone else's life.
There has never been anything like the book. It can teach you, it can amuse you. Perhaps you'll ride along while someone else engages in a dream. It may be a fantasy, it may be fiction of a wild sort.
Two come to mind. One was the first book ever printed in the United States, the Bay Psalm book. It was a rhymed version of the Book of Psalms, and it was actually sung by the early Puritan settlers. Now, we don't know what the music was, but it's rhymed, it's very good poetry, and it's a Book of Psalms, which is pretty good stuff. Another book that is more modern, that really sort of encapsulated the sort of striving of America, and its determination to go to new frontiers, new worlds, was Moby Dick.
The things that I really love about America and America's literature is that it really is so diverse. And I think that there are hundreds of books that have shaped our country and continue to shape our country. And so what I think really shaped America is not one particular book or one kind of genre of book, but just the fact that America really is a nation of readers.
And I would say that the book that really shaped America, as far as I'm concerned, was Thomas Paine's Common Sense. He wrote it in 1776. He was an Englishman come to the United States. He saw that even though his country, England, was the colonial power, that there was something wrong in imposing that colonial power over a people that was producing, a whole country that was producing as vitally as America was at the time.
I think the novels of Mach Train, I think that what Train did was to bring ordinary people into the literary marketplace, so to speak. And I enjoyed his books as a young person. I understood that he wrote for the times.
I think that in the United States, race has been such a big issue throughout the course of our history that I think back about a lot of the books that I've read over the years, and a lot of them have had an impact on how the United States and the Americans have discussed race. From a fiction point of view, I think of Uncle Tom's Cabin, Huckleberry Finn.
You have a book like The Grapes of Wrath. The United States went through a terrible cataclysmic group of disasters in the 1930s and 40s. A lot of people didn't understand what the Dust Bowl was all about, and they looked at the people who were displaced by it as an invading almost group of refugees coming into, say, California and representing a threat to them. The Grapes of Wrath took the story of such a family and humanized it so well that by the time that story got around the country a couple of times, people began to sympathize and they began to understand. It may have even helped change policy on what we did about things like the Dust Bowl.
For me, probably first and foremost at the moment would in fact be Uncle Tom's Cabin, because there's so many layers to the appearance of Uncle Tom's Cabin. A woman author, the rise of abolition, the attempt to do a kind of fictionalized documentary to expose life amongst slavery, the extreme political pushback to the point that it's discussed in Congress. A year later, Harriet Beecher Stowe feels compelled to publish a list of factual information to prove that this is not a fabricated story, that it actually polarizes America around this very discussion.
The Rights of Man by Thomas Paine. But I know it's a pretty obvious answer. And I really love that book. As a foreigner, as an immigrant in this country and reading that book, it just kind of made me understand what this country's all about and the freedom.
When I think about the books that shaped America, I can't help but think about Dr. Seuss, Toni Morrison, there are so many. But those books that just give us life lessons and let us know that we're not alone in our journeys and that people all around the world have some of the same problems and experiences that we face.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.